Hey guys, Fergus here with weathermapping.com. In today's video, we are looking at average temperature departure across the United States and Canada in degrees Fahrenheit for forecast day one, which is today, February 9th, 2026. This map highlights where temperatures are running warmer or colder than what's typical for early February and by how much. What is average temperature departure? Well, it's the difference between the actual average temperature and the long-term normal for a given date and location. It's not telling you how warm or cold it is, it's telling you how unusual those temperatures are relative to what's expected for this time of year. For example, if a city normally has an average of 30 degrees Fahrenheit in early February, but it ends up with an average temperature of 42 degrees Fahrenheit, that's a plus 12 degrees Fahrenheit departure. If it averages 20 degrees Fahrenheit, that's a negative 10 degree departure. Positive values indicate warmer than normal conditions, while negative values indicate colder than normal conditions. This metric's useful in the winter because it removes geography from the equation. A plus 10 degree departure in Texas and a plus 10 degree departure in Alberta both represent similar anomalies, even though their actual temperatures could be very different. Departures also help put impacts in context. Heating demand, snow versus rain, freezing risk, how persistent a weather pattern really is for the season. So, large scale, we're seeing this map as a strong and coherent pattern across North America. The dominant feature is this very broad warm anomaly centered over the western and central portions of the continent. This is contrasted by colder than normal conditions across eastern Canada and eastern United States. Western and central Canada are kind of firmly on that warm side of the pattern, while the far north of Canada and the north part of Alaska remain colder than average. Across the US, that warmth stretches from the west coast through the Rockies into the plains, while a cold air is concentrated over east of the Mississippi Valley towards the northeast. There's a clear gradient from west to east, and in some places from interior to coast, indicating a strong, persistent air mass boundary rather than a very short-lived temperature swing. Let's break this down regionally. So starting in Alaska and the far north of Canada, much of the northern territories are far colder than normal, with widespread negative departures. However, this cold relaxes very quickly as you move south and east, especially towards southern Alaska. Across central and western Canada, including parts of British Columbia's interior, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, the pattern flips dramatically. Temperatures are running well above normal, with broad areas in the low to mid-teen Fahrenheits above average. This warmth extends southwards into the northern United States and pushes northwards into that southern part of Alaska, very close to the U.S. border, highlighting kind of how expansive this warm air mass really is. In the Pacific Northwest, the departures are generally mixed, but generally near a slight above normal, with inland areas warmer than the immediate coast. Farther south into California and the Southwest, positive departures dominate, especially away from the coastline. These regions are experiencing a milder than typical winter pattern rather than a persistent cold. The Rockies and High Plains stand out as the warmest regions relative to normal right now. From Montana and Wyoming through the Dakotas and into the Central Plains, departures are commonly reaching into the teens, the high teens in Fahrenheit, well above average. This is a classic winter warm ridge signal and often associated with kind of reduced snow cover and a strong downslope warning. Across the southern plains, including Oklahoma and Texas, the above normal temperatures are firmly in place. Much of Texas is several degrees warmer than typical for early February, reinforcing that kind of lack of winter cold that we saw a couple days ago. Moving into the Great Lakes Midwest region, the pattern has become more transitional. Western portions of the Midwest remain mild, but temperatures are trending close to normal, and then that below normal as you approach the Great Lakes itself reflecting the influence of that colder air that's in the east. In the northeast and eastern Canada, we're seeing much colder than normal conditions dominate. Ontario, Quebec, Atlantic Canada, New Brunswick are all solidly below average, with parts of interior New England, upstate New York, firmly on that cold side of the pattern. This region is experiencing a more traditional February feel compared to the rest of the continent, I can tell you that. Across the southeast inland areas, they're leaning cooler than normal. Coastal regions, Florida, are sitting close to those seasonal averages. I'm here in Miami, and it's definitely feels a lot colder than normal, but it's only a couple degrees cooler than it should be. But this kind of shows that cold air is strongest farther north and away from that immediate coast. What are our implications for this, and why does it matter? Well, it's reinforcing that strong regional contrast. Warmer than normal conditions across the west and central parts of North America. It's reducing heating demand. People have turned off their heating because it's so warm today. Limited snowpack efficiency. While in the colder eastern areas, that pattern of high energy demand is in place. Everybody on the East Coast has their heating on today because it's absolutely freezing. We're seeing sharp transition zones as well. This is indicating more active weather systems where warm and cold air masses are meeting. So if you like this video and you like my kind of discussion on US and Canada temperature departure and you want to see more, please like the video and subscribe to the Weather Mapping YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Laters.